welcome back to another episode of Marketing 100, where we are walking you through marketing strategies to help you grow your salon business every week. And this week is no different. We're going to lead you through not only just a marketing tactic, but I'm here with Josh from Webmade Digital, who also runs a hair salon that you might have met in one of our previous episodes. And he's going to walk you through how they, when they opened a new salon, within 90 days, generated 700 leads to their business. We're going to walk you through the end-to-end case study of how this was made possible. I'm super excited to dive into this today, Josh.
Thanks, John. Yeah, super excited to share these knowledge bombs again. This has absolutely transformed, the salon launch post-COVID as well. So, and it's something that you guys can really easily implement in your own sort of salon businesses. So yeah, looking forward to sharing it all with you today.
So this was a new business that you opened post-COVID, right?
It was, yeah. So we sold our big salons. We had like a 4,000 square foot big unit in Jan 2020. You know, I feel sorry for the poor guy that bought it then. But yeah, essentially then we built another one during the pandemic. As soon as we launched, we pre-sold all the slots.
Okay, so what is the formula? What is the secret? Like, what did you do in order to generate 700 leads in that short time period?
Essentially, we used a paid ads strategy. So the website was new, so we didn't have the luxury of organic traffic coming to the website. So we needed to leverage paid. So the entire campaign started with Google ads. And the reason why we chose Google ads over Facebook ads is quite simple. Like when people are actually on Google, they're proactively looking to fix an existing problem. Whereas on social media, you're effectively interrupting somebody. You know, they're on there to check out whatever cat pictures, you know, whatever people like to do. So there's more steps involved. You know, the average touch point on social media is 7. Like people need to experience your brand 7 times before taking action. Whereas with Google ads, it's instant and you're going to appear at the top of those search engine results. So that was the foundation of our strategy, essentially using Google ads. The next really important point to mention where a lot of people fall short is because it's quite easy to set up a Google ads campaign, but people start sending that traffic to their website homepage. And especially if you don't have the 8 sort of steps in place that we mentioned in a previous video, the right structure, these people are just going to bounce straight off and it's just wasted money. So when you're sending people from Google, let's say, for example, somebody is searching for hairdressers in this location, you want to be serving them a hairdressing specific ad, which says hairdressing in the title and the description, and then sending them to a landing page, which is just about that specific service.
You know, really curious to hear what you have on that page. But before we get to the actual landing page, like people are seeing an ad and they're clicking on that ad. What makes a good ad?
There's no one golden ad. There's never one ad which will basically win. So it's all about testing. You need to be investing a small amount of money just to see what sticks. But essentially, you would try a different ad for a different mindset. So again, think about that potential customer. Why are they on Google? Why are they looking for a hairdressers? Are they new to the area? Have they just moved there? Have they fallen out of love with their old hairdresser? We actually used that as a title and absolutely killed it on that one. Is there like a home hair disaster? And these are titles as well as, you know, your typical hairdressers in. So when you Google ads now, you put in 15 to 20 headlines, and then Google will basically pull together an ad which best suits that potential lead. But basically what you want to do is have different ad groups for different things. So in one ad, you would just talk about, you know, are you new, like looking for a new hairdresser in town, new to town, looking for a new hairdresser, you know, trying to find a new hairdresser. And then in another ad, you might leverage falling out of love with your hairdresser or something like that. So you would have a different ad for each different message.
And when it comes to actually like getting these ads up, how do you recommend people go about that? Should they start playing with Google ads themselves, or is it better to get some, you know, Google ads expert in to help on that?
Any tool can be learned with time. The fantastic thing about Google ads, if you spend $500, they will give you 500 back. So you can almost basically, you know, think that the first $500 are essentially free. But all you need to just remember with basically Google Ads is that you're setting a specific location. So you're targeting a certain area. You basically have the campaign. The campaign would be for like hairdressing leads. And then basically within that campaign, you have like your different ad sets and your different ads, but just for hairdressing. So we're not talking about extensions. We're not talking about color. We're just talking about hairdressing. And then if you're wanting to promote your extension service, that is then like another campaign or another ad set within that campaign, because you just want to be really congruent, which what I mean by that is from that ad to the landing page to somebody booking in, that message needs to be the same throughout. So it's like, I'm looking for a hairdresser, I'm on a hairdresser landing page, and that's basically what I'm getting. So, and by that as well, increases things like your click-through rate, which Google rewards, and then that lowers your cost per click. So it's all good. But yeah, you can definitely jump in and try it yourself.
When you're talking about ad sets and you're kind of like describing this, for those of you who kind of feel excited about that and think that that is something that you want to do, you should probably go in and try and play with it. But for those of you who feel like, oh, that sounded technical, and you kind of started to zoom out, you should probably hire someone.
So if you've ever run Facebook ads on Instagram or anything like that, that is much more complicated, because not only have you still got to build the campaigns, the ad sets and the ads, but you've also got to create multiple types of creative videos, images, text. Whereas on Google Ads, it's just text, essentially. There are obviously other things you can do. You can upload pictures, and that's essentially building out your ad. But as a platform in itself, it's much easier to get your head around. It is people proactively looking for your service every single day.
So you have your ad, people are seeing that, you're testing a few different ones, and you're dialing in, okay, people are clicking on this. What should you have on that landing page?
The congruency. So it's, if we're talking about hairdressing in the ad, then we're going to be talking about hairdressing specifically on that landing page. You don't want to send somebody to a page on your website where they can basically bounce off to another page. So you would essentially remove any external links, so they can't actually venture away from that specific page. So this would follow a similar framework to the 8 steps, which we mentioned in the other video. So it's basically the header, telling them exactly what it is, hit them with some type of potential pain points, the problems that they're going to be going through, the benefits that they can experience, when they come to see your salon, bringing yourself and your team up as the guide, like the trusted authority to deliver this unbelievable, haircuts, essentially. And then a really important point is, what is the process that person needs to take in order to get that haircut? So it's like step 1, it's like, use our online booking system to book your first appointment. Or step 1, if you're wanting to do a more consultative approach and get that information before you speak to that client. So you're sort of armored, as it were. So you're going into that consultation like you've actually, you know the person, their pain points, and you can address it like that. So as long as you follow those sorts of structures and have a very clear call to action, you can't lose.
The steps that you walked through rather quickly now, we're actually going very deep on in a separate video, which we'll make sure to link on the screen here right now if you haven't watched that yet. So Josh is walking you through those 8 sections and like really how you should think about those on your homepage, or in this case on a landing page. I highly recommend you check out that video. But I want to double click on like the call to actions, or like, okay, so the actions that we want to drive. What are some examples of what people could have as a call to action?
For example, with haircuts, it's quite a simple one. If somebody was looking for a haircut, you could just get them to book that appointment straight away. So it's just a simple, book your appointment, select the stylist, and you're off to the races. If it was for a hair extensions or like a color appointment, I would say that initial first step would be to have a consultation with that potential client. So that's where you're going to be gathering the right information, just so you're going into that consultation with more awareness.
All right. So you're talking about like booking an appointment in the case of like the haircut ad, for example, for a more complex service, the intake form, or like requesting a consultation. Obviously, the tool we use here is MangoMint. Most of you watching this or listening to this will be familiar with MangoMint, where you have the online booking built in. You're mentioning like booking for a specific stylist, or if you wanted to do something like that, you can actually like deep link with MangoMint into specific services as well. So I landed on this like haircut ad, and then you need to kind of like find that service within your menu, but you can actually like deep link directly to that service as well, which I think is a benefit in this case. When it comes to like requesting a consultation, we would use the Mango Mint form feature for that, where you can just have a person filling out the form and you can decide like what fields it should be, and it goes straight into your Mango Mint platform as well for those of you using that one. So, make sure the system that you are using today offers that as well, so you can kind of like make that process from landing on that landing page seamless, I would say, into like, getting the customer details, capturing that, or even getting the appointment booked. Josh, is there any other ways that people could be, rather than just booking an appointment, intake form for consultation, is there another strategy you can use to capture details?
We would consider these leads slightly lower quality, but in my experience, implemented this over hundreds and hundreds of websites, and it's worked extremely well. These are what we call the window shoppers. So somebody that might have clicked your ad with the 5 minutes that they've basically got in a lunch break, or they're even walking down the street or something. They're not quite ready to make that initial step. Booking an appointment, definitely not. Like booking a consultation, I just right now I don't have the time. But a quick win would be is basically request pricing. So actually having a button on there is like request our price list, and that will just be a simple button which say fires a pop-up, which is a small intake form, super simple, name, email, telephone number. And due to the fact that these leads are quite low, like lower quality, as it were, not tire kickers, but essentially people that are just in a rush, you wouldn't be sending them a price list. So what you do is essentially using like an automation tool or system. You would then start opening up that conversation automatically, which essentially in turn builds trust. And then when you do call them, they're much more likely to convert. So even though initially they might be seen as a lower quality lead, if you can get a couple of backwards and forwards text, so it's like, hey, John, thanks for requesting our pricing. I'm sure hair comes in all shapes and sizes. Can you tell us about your hair so we can find the best package for you? You would then reply, I've got brown, long hair. It's like, that's great news, John. We've got a perfect stylist, which will be suited just for your hair type. Our receptionist, like Hannah, will be giving you a call momentarily. And then that is how you turn a low value quality lead into a high value quality lead. You've built the trust, and then you just get on the phone and then get them booked in. So it works extremely well. The other two are much more likely to sort of, convert. But as a fallback, that pricing request is an absolute game changer.
Just testing what works for you, right? And playing around with the different ones. What kind of results are you getting on these like more low effort, like just submitting your details basically, through to actually like driving into an appointment and actually getting the commitment to book right now versus submitting the consultation form? Like which one is working in your business? I think the only way to really find out is just to test, right? And to try things. Generally, the rule in marketing is that we don't know until we like really put it out there and test it, right?
Knowing your service. So, haircuts, easy, full head of extensions, full head of colors, color redos are going to require much more in-depth. So it's just knowing what you're trying to sell and aligning that call to action to that specific service.
So we cannot talk about automation without bringing up Mango Mint. Some of you will be familiar with the flows feature that you have inside of Mango Mint that essentially allows you to do exactly this. Like if you have a lead coming in, submitting a form, to kind of go through, wait a number of days, send a text message, see if they interact. If they don't, continue on and send another message. And you can set up these custom flows for how you want to manage that. And you can do that right inside of the Mango Mint platform. So a little plug from Mango Mint there as well. I'm leaving the link in the description for where you get an extra month free of Mango Mint. So the ad, we have the landing page, we have the call to actions. Is this the full secret to like how you generated 700 leads in 90 days?
It's that sequence: ads, landing pages, specific opt-ins for that specific ad with some clever automations, a little bit of AI in the background, but essentially that is the entire piece there. So it works extremely well. It's battle tested. We've used that exact same strategy for like hundreds of other businesses. So essentially, if you want to give it a go, give it a go. There's quite a bit of a learning curve to get all those pieces aligned, especially with building out specific landing pages. but it's tried and true, and it will definitely work for your business.
So much value in that. I think a lot of people watching this will find this very helpful, and really encourage you guys to go and test the strategies that Josh just walked you through. I think there is like an element in here that is a little bit technical, and some might be a little bit worried about like really just going about doing this themselves. And maybe some people would like your help, Josh. So like if people want to get in touch with you and understand more about the business and the work that you're doing, what do they do?
All you need to do is just go to webmade.digital/salon. We've basically set up a page there where if you just put in your information, we can do a free, fully complimentary audit on your entire online presence. So like we've got a whole bunch of experts here, we'll be able to do a deep dive into your business and find out any potential low-hanging fruit, things that you could be doing in the short term to generate more clients and more revenue in your business.
We've talked about a few resources today. We talked about Mango Mint. I'm leaving links in the description to that. I'm going to leave links in the description over to Webmade Digital, so you can go check that out. I'm going to leave links to other episodes where we walked through that exact page that we talked about, that Josh walked you through in a separate episode. There's a bunch of resources down there. Your link to Mango Mint with your special offer if you want to try that as well. Thanks, Josh, for walking us through this. It's a pleasure to have you here on the show. I hope I'll have you back soon again. And for you watching, like, leave a comment. Let us know what you think. Was this valuable? Are you going to try some of this? Let us know so we know how we can continue to improve on this show as well. And we look forward to seeing you inside of an upcoming episode.